Hi, I'm Crystal with Mocha Genius Dog here with Taiko. Taiko is now 16 weeks old and I got him when he was 8 weeks, so we've been training for 8 weeks. So the first 4 weeks we worked on his recall and drop it and stuck primarily with that just to get those pretty strong, and he's been continuing to do well with those. And then the last month we started introducing some verbal commands. So primarily sit down and stand is what we've been working on, as well as just some general stuff with leash walking kind of manners going in and out of doors. So where I haven't officially introduced leave it and wait as verbal commands, I do use them casually and kind of just, use my hand to either block him or have him wait. And he's really been picking up on that stuff. So I'm gonna start introducing that stuff more formally now. So for leave it, I want his response to be that he looks at me and makes eye contact. So the way I start with that is by holding a treat where he can't get it. And then when he's looking, since he already kind of knows the word from the informal work we've done, I'll tell him, leave it. And then I wait for eye contact. And when he gives me eye contact, I'm gonna click and give a treat. And if he's not automatically doing it, I can encourage it by holding a treat near my eyes. And sometimes you gotta make a little noise or even move your fingers, just something to get him to look away from the leave it item. So he's getting up to investigate, so I close it just to make sure that he doesn't get the treat from my hand. And then I'll wait for him to back off of it to start. So there, where he broke contact with my hand, I clicked and I didn't give him the treat that I want him to leave. So when I say leave it, I mean that this is off limits. So I'm never gonna let him have that one. I'm always gonna give him a secondary one. So I'll have some treats loaded in one hand. This is our leave it hand. So as he goes towards it, I'll close my hand. When he backs off of it, I'll give it to him. So where I tried starting with the word leave it, come on, stand up, buddy. Hoping that he would maybe understand it from a casual sense, but I've mostly been doing it as I feed both him and my other dog. He always goes for her food first, so I say leave it, and so he knows to look and then to walk away and come get his. So it's been very situational. Like I said, this is kind of our first formal introduction, so I'm not too surprised that he didn't go for it, but I just want to see what he knew. So got that treat there as he gets up. I block contact, keeping these treats up near here. So he's trying some different things. He's pawing, he's offering to lay down, he's crawling. So I'm kind of making mental notes of what he's doing. I'm like, oh, I can turn that into a trick later. So waiting for him to back off and stop. Good. Olive came in, she hears the clicks. So we'll see if Olive will do a demonstration. So we've got that. So I'll kind of exaggerate the treat off to the side. So I say, leave it. You can see she makes that nice eye contact, because leave it will eventually be used whether it's, leave a dog or a person or a smell or a treat on the ground. It always just means leave whatever it is you're showing interest in and make eye contact with me. Good boy, Taiko. So, and then I kind of hold the treat at my face so that it helps encourage that eye contact. So as he starts catching on to the game, he's gonna recognize that the sooner he looks at me, the sooner this treat up by my face is gonna come to him. Good. So that was the first time he looked at my eyes. And so he's giving it up a lot quicker as he tries here. Putting my whole hand in his mouth. Good, Taiko. All right, Taiko, come on here. Olive, go touch. Good girl. Taiko, come here. Good boy. So I like to have the leave it treat more off to the side so it kind of exaggerates his head, because he can stare forward very comfortably for a long time. So I'm just going to switch hands and have this be the temptation one now. So just doing a little bit of this patience work where I'm not saying a lot, not confusing him because he doesn't have a solid understanding. You can see that time he got up, he went to sniff the hand and he started looking, so he's realizing, good, that this food is not the one he's getting. He's not totally done trying. You can see he's trying a lot of different things. So when we get into trick training, this is how we do it. That little bit of frustration can sometimes give you a lot of these great moments of stuff to reward, but I'm not doing that right now. So, like I say, I'm just making mental notes for things I can train in the future. Good boy. And if he doesn't automatically go to the hand to try to steal the food and he's just gonna stare at me, I'm gonna click that because that's ultimately what I want. It's for him to figure out that this is off limits. Good boy, Taiko. So once he starts looking at me more consistently, that's when I'll start throwing in the command, leave it. Or as I can tell he's going to look at me, I'll only say it when I know he's gonna be successful. But I wanna get the response I want first and then name it. Good boy. So he didn't make direct eye contact with me, but he turned his head away. So in these beginning stages, I'll take that. Especially because now I'm able to have my hand open. Good boy. And have the treats a little bit more in view, which makes it more tempting. Adorable, all the things he's trying. Good boy. Good. Even as he's chewing, he gave me great eye contact there. So I'm gonna reward as much eye contact as I can. Good boy. So now I'm gonna start seeing if I can give the word. Now he's making good eye contact. Leave it. Good boy. Leave it. Good. Leave it. Good. So and then eventually I want to take the food away from kind of the direct line of sight and just have it where I can deliver it like I do for everything else. Leave it. Good. You can see sometimes just the movement of my hand helps to get his attention to help him be successful with it. Leave it. Good, leave it. Good boy. Leave it. Good. Leave it. Good boy. Leave it. Good. So that was nice. That was the first one he was able to do where I had the reward lower than my eyes and made eye contact. Leave it. Good. So now sometimes still just to continue reinforcing that, if I pull a treat out, I'll sort of put it up near my eyes and deliver it. And then I'm gonna start kind of moving where that temptation is because I don't want him to think it's only when I'm holding a hand on his right side. Leave it. Good boy. But we want to make sure that he can do it with the treats out on the left. Leave it. Good boy. You can see he's giving nice head whips now, which is what I want. And then I'll even start putting the food on the ground. But again, I'm going to make sure that I can get it before he does because I don't want him to steal it. Any food that he's able to steal and get first, it only teaches him to be quicker and faster and outsmart me. So I'll still keep my hand near where I can cover it. And he may try some new tricks since he hasn't gotten to figure out what doesn't work here. But it's just gonna be the same game. Good boy. Leave it. Yes, good boy. Leave it. Good. And so I'll just gradually start exposing that where I keep my hand nice and tightly cupped, and then I might start spreading my fingers where he can see it and smell it better. Leave it. Good. Until I can just have it fully exposed. And with him just being a couple inches away, it's really just kind of too tempting for him to be successful. So he might get up and walk to go see it, but I'll see if I can just kind of put some off to the side and get some eye contact. Leave it. Good boy. So there I just made a little noise with my mouth to encourage his looking. So he's not wanting to take the treat, he just wants to go steal it. So I just scooped it all up. Again, my biggest goal is that he doesn't get it. Come here. Good boy. Just want him to notice it. Leave it. Good. Leave it. Good. Leave it. Good job. Leave it. Good boy. Good. Leave it. Leave it. So with it being on the floor, that's definitely the harder challenge for him than when it's in my hand. Good boy. But this is how we start the process. So I'm just going to be doing a lot of repetition like this and just changing how it looks, making it progressively more tempting. But I really want him to connect. When I say leave it, I want him to give me eye contact. That's what's always going to get him the reward. Leave it. Yes. Good boy. All right, so we'll end on that for now. That was a great first session for Leave It. Good boy, Taiko. High five. Yes, good boy. All right, sit down and stand are the commands that we've been working on. And he's been doing really great with sit and stand, but down, he just overnight seemed to forget what it was. So with a young dog, it's really not that uncommon, but because it's just still a new command with the sit down and stand, and I've really been working a lot on it specifically. So as we're starting to do it outside the house now, that's added a lot of new challenges where I've had to go back to luring a lot just to keep his focus. So that's part of the reason I haven't introduced a lot of new commands, because if he's already struggling to master the first few that I've introducing too many that are, similarly the same, because like sit down and stand, they're all positional things, but doing like leave it and wait, they're different enough where a lot of it is him reading my body language, where it's not just relying on him to do it. So I'm just kind of taking my time because I want him to be successful. I don't want to overwhelm him. I'm going for quality rather than quantity. So I'll just run him through and see how he's doing with it today. I always kind of do a little check because some days he does awesome at it and then we don't need to drill it so much. And other days when he shows he's got a little weakness here or there, it shows me exactly where we need to put our focus. Taiko, sit. Good boy. Stand. Excellent. So the folding down has still been his most challenging one. Were you listening or are you just tired? Stand. Good boy. Down. Excellent. So that's his hard one. That was perfect. And I love that he didn't come forward and try to touch my hand because that's what he had been doing. Stand. Good. Sit. Good. Good. So he just went through all 6 of the different positions, doing his sit down and stand from the 2 other positions. Down. Whoopsie. Off. Good. Down. Good boy. So another thing I've been working on with him is getting those positions to maintain. So like him staying in the down as I stand up, what I'm working on, because he was wanting to just get in the position and then pop up quickly. So especially with his down, I worked on kind of doing slow food delivery where he has to still be in that down to get the treat. If he pops up at any point, I would just quickly take that treat away, use a hand signal to get him back down. As soon as he's down, his chance that the food comes back. Good. And then as it gets to the last couple inches where he could stretch his nose, that's when I'll just kind of stuff it in there quickly. But this has really been helping him to figure that he doesn't always have to jump towards the food, but it's going to come to him. And this is also starting to establish stay. We're not using the word, but he's starting to learn the concept of getting in a position and staying there. Sit. Good boy. So I'll do the same thing with sit. This is great for dogs who tend to want to jump. Good boy. So he's doing great. He's just being nice and calm, waiting for that food to come down. So it's a really good game for impulse control. But if he were to try to, jump up at any point, whether I was starting up here or way down there, you just take that food away quickly and then bring it slower. Taiko, stand. Good. Down. Yes, there's our folding down. So that is great. That's what I've wanted the whole time, to be able to stand up, give him the command, and have him drop into it. So this is awesome. It shows the work we've been doing. He's getting it. So I gave him a jackpot there. So he's a little tired right now, so he's not wanting to party too hard, but very happy with that. Yay. High five. Good boy. Another one we've been working on kind of informally is up. So when I want him to jump onto something, I kind of just tap it twice and Taiko, up. Good boy. And then have him jump up there. So I'll do this on different things. Like when I go out for a walk, if there's like a big rock or some kind of little meter box or a low wall, anything where he can physically jump up on it, I'm just going to start practicing having him get up there and then practice his sits and downs and stands, just so he's getting comfortable on different surfaces and just to jump up. So the one thing I will say is just don't teach your dog to jump on anything you don't want them on. So like I don't give him just free access to the couch. He has to be invited. But we have a couch in the other room which has a cover on it. That's Olive's couch. So I don't mind if he gets up on that or the beanbag. So that's where I'm going to start doing a lot of this type of practice in the house. And then when we have him jump on, then you get to have him jump off. So Taiko, off. Good boy. And off, which means all 4 feet back on ground level. Taiko, up. Good boy. Good. Down. Good. Stand. Good boy. Off. And if he doesn't automatically jump off, you can encourage it by tossing a treat. Good boy. And then I missed the click there. But just kind of encouraging him to move off where he sees that, food comes from different places. Taiko, down. Yes. So I think it's since I started doing a lot of the slow food delivery, it's brought a lot more value to the position of down. So I like that I'm able to give it to him from the standing position. But like I said before, he's only doing this well in the house. When I go outside, it's a different story. I'm having to use a lot of luring, so I'm really just starting that training from scratch, how I started in here, using a lot of the lures, just a quick rate of reinforcement, keeping him really engaged and just keeping the sessions really short and positive. Because he's still a puppy and he's still very easily distracted. So just working through that. But just doing these simple little exercises is what's really going to help him to learn that, like, okay, it doesn't matter if there's other people around or different smells or we're on a different surface or it's a windy day and there's leaves blowing. But he's really doing awesome with training. Taiko, stand. Yes, good. Oops, stand. Good. So I haven't done it for stand yet for that duration. You can see he's quick to change into the other positions because those ones have been paid a little bit more heavily. So I'm just gonna see if I can reward for him remaining in a stand, because this will be the start of our stand stay. Good boy. Taiko, stand. And if he keeps going down, I can put a foot under his belly. Just be a little quicker with my click before he has time to change position. Good boy. Good, Taiko. Whoops. You can see the second I pause, he's wanting to go right back into that sit. Come on. Good. So it's always just kind of walking that fine line as you're trying to taper off your reward to stretch it out a little. Because he's in the pattern of standing while he chews. As soon as he's done, he's changing position. So I'm just trying to get, half a second and then work up to a second. But he's quick to do that. But this is how it all starts. So, I can't be too mad that he's offering the sit and the down that I've worked so hard to get him to do. So I'm just not going to reward it unless I ask for it. Because he's figuring out now that he only gets rewarded for the commands when he does it correctly. Stand. Good. I know you're very good at laying down now. Sit. Good. Stand. Good. Down. Good boy. Good. Okay, Taiko. Okay, buddy. Come here. Good job.
Oh no.
Hi, Papa.
Good.
16 weeks old and right on schedule. We are officially teething. Good boy, Taiko.
Hey now, don't ruin that. Hi, come on, hey.
Guys, want some of that? Olive, eat your own. You guys are so lucky. Hey, Taiko. You are perfect.
Let me do it again.
Oh, good job.
Okay.
Such a good girl.
Hi, Taiko. What do you think of your first parade, buddy?